All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Banana Fish, episode 23.
Aha.
Sayonara.
Yeah, we saw what you were doing there, Banana
That was,
Fish. That was very nice of you. Yeah, to give us a little bit of a goodbye before potential death.
Yeah, nice is not the word I would describe it. But, you know, it happened. Here we are. But it was just a gut shot wound, so as long as they get AG to the hospital, he should be okay.
Yeah.
Unless that bullet was poisoned with plot, which it very well could have been.
It could have been.
It absolutely could have been.
Very possible.
So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but all right. Let's bring everyone in. Let's get this going.
That's right.
Dino, your days are numbered now, buddy.
That's right.
We all touched Ash. In some ways, there's a possibility that this doesn't ever get back to Yut-Lung.
That's possible. That's
Ash
possible.
fucking killed both of them.
But
so,
Blanca did leave to go head out and try and help out. So, you know.
Yeah, he could come into to play here as basically an ally of Ash's.
I would love that.
And I think everyone liked that. You know, kind of
exactly.
Thing. But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, Blanca, already here. Wow. I'll take care of him.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. What a guy.
You couldn't have known this would happen, eBay. Right.
Yep. He gives me that solitude.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
Wow. Oh, Lao. Okay. Yeah. Now you're experiencing what he experiences every day. Alright. He's alive.
To defeat the Huns. Yeah.
All three gangs, let's go. Yeah. We don't have time for that shit. Yeah. Whoa!
Okay.
Just your gang? Wow! They're gonna end up fighting one-on-one. Oh, he quits?
Wow.
God, the piano of just like, this is the end, this is the end.
Okay.
Whew. Yeah, he doesn't want to be boss anymore.
And he doesn't want war either.
Nope. Oh. And you're not there. Yeah. Oh, Kane's a real one. Oh. Oh. He's like he's praying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jeez. Oh, that's.
Okay.
Please don't. answer half of his prayer. Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Shit.
And then she was no longer, yeah, protected. Yeah. He's just like me. Nice, that's cool. Oh, the glass filtering the light, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
As you cry out, clawing for someone to connect with.
Right, yeah.
Okay, hell yeah.
Cool.
Every one of you, yeah. Here we go. Okay. Oh. Wow. They didn't want you having any connections. Oh, that too.
Okay, that, yeah. And when you came back? Oh. He did not ask for you to say that.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, leave him alone with his thoughts.
Uh-huh.
That was powerful.
Okay.
Ha! Ha! Yeah.
So, want a helping hand?
I'm really cheap right now. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. This editing is hilarious.
Yeah. The highest paid professional killer in the world, you know, or one of them. Be a driver for me.
Take him to the hospital.
Nice.
Oh. We don't have any glass slippers to
Yeah.
identify you afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, we all know.
Oh, he really doesn't have a lot of time.
No.
Double dipping on that?
Really? I know.
Really?
Oh. voice acting.
Okay.
Well, obviously, but yeah, why would they use surgery? Stop him, yeah. We need some contingency plans.
All right.
Okay, we can distract Dino with the story that drops.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you're not getting any sleep now. Okay.
So they're drawing, because Dino will want to do a hit, so that'll draw away some of his people.
That'll go worldwide. He could still come here.
Oh. Oh, gotcha. Oh, wait, are they gonna jump Dino?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, holy shit!
Here we go!
All right.
Oh, it's over for you. There it is.
Oh, shit.
They're just gonna walk in?
No way.
Oh my god.
No way. He's not gonna do it. He's gonna be like, kill him.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep.
They've gone rogue. No.
Yeah, and he shoots Dino. Yep.
Oh!
Yep.
Oh, shit!
Yeah.
Here we go!
Oh, boy!
We're headed into the finale now. Yep.
I'm so glad that Dino died just like a chump. Now, theoretically, he might not be dead just yet, but those were, 2 shots in the chest.
Oh, no, he's dead.
From a military dude that would know where to point, Oh boy.
God. Oh, my God.
That was satisfying. I love it. I love it. To where to start? So Dino is, I believe, dead, which awesome. Yep. I love that it wasn't even from Ash or even from someone who's been in the story for very long.
Nope, just a Corsican Foundation member that's just like, fuck him. Don't need him anymore.
This reminds me a lot of like the kind of chaos that I recently finished Breaking Bad for the first time. And this reminds me of the sort of military group that ends up coming in at the end of that, where it's just who are they? Nobody's, who cares? But they just exist.
Mercenaries,
and mercenaries, they have guns, and so, things get crazy, right?
Yep.
You're not dealing with the devil you know anymore. You're dealing with the devil you don't, right? And it's a lot more straightforward. So, okay.
They don't mess around.
Nope.
They don't want to talk.
It's just, there's this thing called banana fish.
We can make a lot of money from that.
We can make a lot of money from that.
These people are trying to stop us? Okay,
right.
Kill them all. Yeah.
It's so satisfying that Dino would fall to someone who was a subordinate of his that just gets a hint of weakness. There's just an opportunity.
I mean, this was not a hint of weakness, though.
No, okay.
He had everything leaked to the press.
Right.
Which is basically, oh, cool, now we have someone to take the fall for all this.
Sure.
So we can get cleanly away from this, but then also, Ash ambushed him right out the hospital.
Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
He's the peak levels of dumbass then to be caught in this way.
Exactly.
And then third, he's trying to leverage
Dino
as a hostage?
And he came in here overextending himself because he believed that Dino was enough leverage to be safe. Oh, this is perfect.
Yeah. Let's get rid of Ash, too.
Our whole army was brought here probably, or something close to it. Because
I would say not that many, but definitely more than a few dozen.
Enough that Dino would have basically been like, we're laying a trap for them. We expect them to come in fairly full force with what Ash has and everything. So, there's going to be a lot of them here. This is the perfect tactical place for him to be, and Ash is out of position. Cool.
Yeah. And there's no real way for Ash to be able to get the hostages outside of doing a prisoner exchange. Right. So at this point, Ash is kind of lost.
Right.
The main thing that they can do here with Ash is that he basically pulls back and starts making war. Like they have to make this like a
cut off supply lines and
Blanca, do you have your gear? And he's like, maybe. And he's like, I'm gonna need you to get up on that bridge back there. It's like, okay.
Right.
And just start
anyone near a
slowly
window
picking
just
off and be like,
dying.
we'll just keep picking off your soldiers. You won't leave this hospital.
Right.
Until you give us what we want.
We have 6 hours before, stuff happens. Now, granted, if that happens, though, they do have hostages.
And they could start killing them.
And they would start killing them.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, what do? They might need to act rashly and do it quick and dirty here, in order to potentially save as many of them as possible.
Right. There's no good scenario for Ash out of this here. But it can get worse. He could die here. If he lives, then I would say then we're in a good state here because from here there's no real immediate enemies for Ash. Like Dino is dead. No one is gunning for Ash more than Dino.
Right.
Like the two people that were killed that were part of Yut-Lung's little scheme or what have you. Those were the ones that were the scariest before Dino because they were wild cards. We didn't know when they would do anything.
This military guy, he might have a hard-on for Ash because it's like, oh, you're a worthy opponent or something like that.
And you could lead the Corsican Foundation.
Right, exactly. But, okay, that's not too big of a deal. And the fact that Blanca is here, actually, I could definitely see this being something where Ash and AG end up surviving and being more or less okay. Maybe they're in prison together. Maybe they go to Japan together. Who knows? But Blanca ends up basically dying in order to make sure that Ash gets out of this okay. And
like Blanca throwing himself on the pyre basically to be like, hey, Ash learned to love.
Right.
I don't want that taken away from him because I had that opportunity taken away from me, even though she taught me what was her name? Natalia, human emotions or human feelings. God, the way you described it, it's just like it's such an alien thing to him. Like he's not a human, he's an animal.
Right. And so of course he would be drawn to her like a moth to a flame, right? Who cares what the government would have said of, she's a potential problem person because of, past
political
affiliations or whatever. Yeah.
God. Yep. Okay. So the conversation though between Yut-Lung and Blanca was really powerful.
Yeah.
Blanca has been this wonderful little like thorn into the plot of like a lot of everyone else's motivations and stuff because they're like, oh, how do we navigate this guy? Right. He's an unstoppable wrecking machine of violence if we want him to be on our side. So everyone tries to get him on their side.
Right.
But then when he sees Yut-Lung, I think he sees someone who reminds him of someone that's consumed by hatred.
Yep.
But he doesn't fully understand him. In some ways, he's like, maybe it's not just that he's consumed by hatred, but there's hope for him. There's actual hope for Yut-Lung to be redeemed and doesn't need to be set entirely in his ways here. If all of the people around Yut-Lung in this horrible situation just end up not around him anymore, he might actually change and go into a better path maybe and be like shorter. We'll see.
It did feel like something where even when he decided to work for Yut-Lung, yes, Yut-Lung got like information and he did his research and all that stuff, but really like that felt to me like the equivalent of weird cut here. In The Dark Knight Rises, when the businessman is like, I paid you, you work for me. It's like, you think that gives you some kind of power over me? Okay, you pay me, cool. I still have to choose to work for you, right? And he chose to work for Yut-Lung, and I think that the oh, you know who I am, that was just the, all right, I'm acknowledging you, but that's not any true leverage, right? No. Like, I could disappear if I wanted to, I could kill you, I could do whatever, right? But maybe he saw him, like you were saying, as a kindred spirit. Oh, I remember when I used to be like you. Yeah. Because it really felt like there was a connection between the two of them that went far beyond just employee and employer. Yeah. And the thing is that their connection hadn't been around for that long. Blanca, even though he has definitely become an integral part of this story once he got introduced, for most of the show, he wasn't there. He wasn't around. We didn't know he existed. So to have them get this close, it very much feels like a sort of like a almost like a pseudo like Ash 2.0 mentor kind of like situation where it's the, hey kid, I wanna help you out, right? And that's why I go above and beyond. That's why I give you these bits of like personal advice and things like that. That's why maybe I'm also leaving right now, because you need to also sort through this on your own, in addition to me needing to help Ash. So
yeah, Blanca is the character that saw a scared young boy that wasn't willing to basically go beyond anything other than hatred, and was like, oh, I know that's not all you have to be. I know that for someone like me, who was not even human in his eyes, that I learned human emotions and stuff.
Right.
So you at the very least know how to love. It's somewhere in there.
Right.
It was something that maybe was, burned out of you,
Right.
scarred out of you.
You haven't needed it up until now, right?
Well,
the alternative has been something that has served you very well.
Yes, exactly.
But there will come a point where it will stop serving you, right? And I believe that time is more or less now.
Well, in some ways, he's already kind of left that point to where he's not even letting hatred serve him now. He's just kind of coping on the fact that Ash doesn't actually consider him to be even a rival or someone that is worthy of his attention, in the same way that when Lau kind of ranted at everyone saying that he doesn't see any of you as human, he only values AG, that's kind of what bothers Yut-Lung, is that he's like, oh, I don't mean anything to him. We can't actually be close or connect in any way, because he's not looking for someone to commiserate with over their shared kind of hatred experience.
He might have before, the old Ash might have before he met AG, but he met AG, so
even in some ways, regardless of whether he wanted that, like the idea that Ash encountered AG and was like, I need this.
Right.
Yut-Lung encountered AG, but he did not see the value in AG. In some ways, I think he's frustrated that he knows he's not the same as Ash. Ash was able to see the difference in AG, but even knowing how much AG has affected Ash, meaning that by law of transitive property, AG could affect you in a similar way as well, you intentionally don't let that be something that you can see.
Or even to put it from another angle, Ash found an AG.
Yes.
That Yut-Lung didn't have. AG, the person, was someone that Yut-Lung interacted with.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean that AG would be for Yut-Lung what he is for Ash,
True.
right?
That's fair.
And potentially in his jealousy, anger, whatever, over the fact that Ash had this and maybe he didn't, he then doesn't see the AG that's next to him this entire time. Yeah. Not that the relationship dynamic is necessarily the same between Blanca and Yut-Lung as Ash and AG.
For sure.
Although, I don't know, maybe. But, but the person that was that could have been that helping hand, reached out to him, right? And every time he smacks it away, right?
Yeah.
And yet he knows that he needs something. He is not sufficient as he is right now.
Yes.
He has gotten what he wanted. His brothers are dead, or, vegetables that are his puppets,
Yeah.
And he is not happy. He is not fulfilled. And I love that this trope of, like, the anime trope of I want to find, like, a rival. I want to have a proper rival and everything. That we get to see what kind of tortured backstory that would come from and how lonely that really is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times it's done in a more simplistic way for just the strong and the strong, and that can be totally cool and everything. But no, yeah, it totally makes sense that Yut-Lung would search for something like that, because that is the best he can hope for, right? That's the best he can imagine and think of, right? Anything else, that's an alien concept to me. Someone like me, a monster like me, that's an anathema. That's almost poisonous to me, right? I wouldn't want to be near that, But a rival, sure, yeah, that could work. That could be an actual genuine human connection that I could partake in, sure.
Yeah, and thus he's in some ways seeking that love, not necessarily through the same elements that someone like AG can give, but Blanca is not even himself willing to transition to that role. He's just giving him companionship and also a little bit of a tough love, maybe, in a form of mentor. And I love that Mr. Ernest Hemingway here is kind of going around giving his little bits of like, hey, I'm here. I'm gonna give a little bit of support here if I can, you know. And yet he was, the ex, assassin,
right.
Death kind of,
it's
bringer.
the fact that that Blanca was talking to Yut-Lung and saying that we're alike. Ash wasn't like us. He learned to love.
Right.
Over this episode and and recently, Blanca has also been learning to love and acting in that, right? Not necessarily romantic love, right? But he has absolutely been acting in love, and that kind of feels like he's saying, hey, if you notice that maybe I've been changing and you also don't like that in the same way that you don't like, seeing AG and, knowing what the effect that he has on Ash, we're similar. The cold assassin, if there's hope for me, there's hope for you, right?
And it's a very, very, very sweet thing to have because Yut-Lung is one of the characters in this story that I've gone, like, all around the block with of whether he's going to make it through this okay. And at this point now, because Dino is dead. I mean, he's effectively dead. I think Yut-Lung's going to make it through this.
I think so.
And in some ways, I think Yut-Lung is probably going to be the one that's the closest to getting, basically, like, our boys out of this situation. It would actually be really cool if it's a thing of where it's like, oh, you guys need immediate, like, getting out of the country kind of level help. Oh, I can
disappear you.
Not to Japan, but I can get you to China. Like,
right, I can get you somewhere where no one will know who you are, and then from there,
be extradited.
You can as like, figure out how to get to Japan or somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's a possibility that right now there's a timer going off, and this is something that I've been scared about when they mentioned that they're going to leak the story to the press. Is that it's not Dino or the Corsican Foundation?
It's the frickin' U.S. of A.
It's the big U of A. Yeah, exactly. That's just like.
Right.
Do they have potentially more info on this? And it's like, what is this banana fish thing? And then this gets the office of the big man, and then it's like, oh, well, I don't want to know any more about this.
Yeah.
I leave this in your hands. Deal with it as you see fit.
And again, the Secretary of State was in on this. Like,
yeah. In some ways, it doesn't need to go to the president or anything like that. It's already at the point where the CIA or something like that
and
could
anybody that is needed will probably be able to be put on Ash and AG's
and I'm very scared for the average, gang member that's hanging out with them, like Kane, for instance, where it's like, you better hope you don't know much of anything because this is about to get really scary.
You better hope that you're able to kind of disappear yourselves after this. And,
Thankfully, there's only one episode left, so not too much can happen. Except this is Banana Fish, so a lot can happen in one episode.
Yep.
But the Ash AG scene broke my fucking heart. Having AG be able to be like, I am not in my body. Please, body, do what I need you to do. Tell him, like, at least, and then pulls him out of bed, and he's too weak to even be able to say anything until he's close enough to where he's able to more or less see him, and then he's like, where are you? Ash, where are you?
And Ash hearing his name, right? Like he had more or less steeled himself. He's like, okay, this is what I got to do, sayonara, right?
Yeah.
And then he hears him say his name. He looks and he sees him, and suddenly it's all out the window, right? And the way that they did, like, focused on the little movements in that whole scene,
and
like,
go Ash.
Yeah. Like this was, fantastically beautiful scene.
Yeah, just.
Yep. So, here we are.
So now let's have our hearts...
Ash is in a very, very bad situation.
For the finale.
But he has a Blanca. So,
He has a Blanca.
And a Blanca goes real far.
A Blanca go really far. I love the fact that they're also just, like, waltzing up to the hospital with a big-ass not flatbed truck, like an 18-wheeler.
Right.
And we don't, like, know exactly what's in there other than, like... potentially, like, maybe there's nobody in there. Maybe that's just...
maybe that's just
they were there to block the road. I mean, obviously it was there to block the road, but maybe they've got, like, other stuff in there as well.
Right. extra
so they can,
guns.
drive it into the lobby or what have you, and use it as cover to then get access to the stairwell, and then it becomes a stairwell type gunfight.
That's what I was hoping too, but it even looks like there's like barricades and shit. So I'm actually really excited to see not just what the Colonel and his men bring to the table, but what kind of additional security systems have been put in place. Because Ash did kind of make this place seem like a child's playground when he got out of here, right? Like he ran circles around what they had. But if they truly revamped things, I'm curious to see how that makes just the environment and the situation that they're in a nightmare to navigate. But
all right, for whom the bell tolls.
Okay, and today it was Dino.
Yeah.
Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. I'm really glad he didn't make it to the last episode.
Yeah, me too. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.